Ladies and gents, welcome to some lands, Nomad. The map where you do not start with the TC, however, there is no water. So, standard Nomad, of course, has water. This is lands Nomad. Actually, a classic map. For the majority of the time land Nomad has existed, you actually wouldn't even start with the wood for a town center. But for ranked DE, they've, I think, correctly made it so you have the wood for a town center. But in the past, you would place a lumber camp, wait for the wood, then build the TC, which certainly took a lot longer. In the blue here, we have at 700 elo, I am a god, ... goth. Kind of a fun little name. Says, good luck, have fun, by the way. And then in the red, a player who still hasn't decided on a TC location. We have Supine Beast, 6549. And I believe the Beast, who's being rather choosy on the TC location right now, maybe looking for a certain resource, maybe looking for stone. But guys, like, one of the big things on Nomad is just drop your TC as quickly as possible on a woodline. You're going to find other resources. It'll take some looking around. Oh, man, Red, please build the TC. There's just too many options. There's too many choices. Oh, and not here. No, now Blue gets the pigs. Now Blue gets the pigs. All right, well, Red does know where Blue is, which is very important in this type of map. Has Red never played this before? Red is really taking some time here. Now, not the first time I've seen someone walk around a really long time on Nomad. It's just very different. And you have to imagine that one player came prepared and probably favorited the map, and the other player's like, huh? And now Red's like, okay, we got to get far away from the opponent. Oh, Red, please build it soon. I could easily see Red thinking he wants to be as far away from the opponent as possible and walk all the way to the right side. Go full corner boy here. Which, by the way, corner boy, very close to being my most viewed video ever. It's has almost overtaken Force Nothing. It's like any week now. And Corner Boy has not been playing the game in some time. Okay, Red's villager stopped. Oh, God, Red's still moving. Red is definitely going to the other corner. Red's almost there. Here we go. Okay. I don't know if you could walk through those trees, and it's going to build the TC there. Woo! Okay, so a true Nomad experience. But Red did collect 900 food with pigs. Blue, on the other hand, brought in a boar, has this pig, and Blue's already up to 7 villagers. So, you know, we'll see how this goes. The way I see it is that this should give a really good start to Blue. Having more villagers means that you have more resources coming in. So the resources collected stat at the bottom left. Sorry, I'm a little belchy at the moment. Yeah, that stat at the bottom left is just going to be going up and up for Blue. Not the ideal start for Red. I think a learning lesson for many people out there. I always feel like a bit of a buzzkill to tell people not to walk around too much, because I feel like it is kind of fun on Nomad to really choose your spot. I'm not saying you can't walk around. I'm just saying that, like, generally speaking, with the way these maps are balanced, you are going to find what you need. Like with Blue's case, Blue ended up being next to a gold, which is nice. But over here, there's a gold. Over here, there's a stone. There's boars. There's this. There's that. Blue knows the map, though. Like, Blue is actually scouting with pigs, which is a very pro move to find other resources, too. And there we go. Red's TC is up. Good stuff. There are no wolves on this map, so you're not going to accidentally run into a wolf, which is always very nice. And remember, Blue will not know where Red is. So, you know, if Blue has this big lead, Blue is not going to know how, you know, where to pressure with that lead, essentially, right? But at high ranks, this is over. Like, this is just, this game, it's impossible to come back. 10 resources collected versus 600. Especially against the Poles. The Poles are a really good booming civilization, but at this rank, especially if Blue turtles up and if Red turtles up and Red's Byzantines, could maybe be possible. I think there's definitely some safety in knowing where your opponent is. And also, Blue just lost a Blue just lost a villager to a boar. Sorry, we missed that. It's fine. It's fine. We didn't see it. I'm rather disappointed that Blue spoke, said good luck, have fun, and Red didn't respond. It really isn't that common for people to chat in these types of games. Red was really focused on TC locations, but I always like it when two chatty players run into each other. It can always lead to some fun situations. Red is higher score, which, again, like, Blue might look at that score and think, wow, my opponent's way ahead of me. A lot of that is due to scouting. That is actually pretty much all that it is. You can see Blue hasn't scouted as much. And Red continues to scout as well. Like, Red is moving all around the map with his villager. You can see the history of this villager's life here. She has been moving for 98% of her life, or something like that. Also, did Blue lose another villager to a boar? So I think Blue must have lost a villager to the first boar and the second boar. Red is catching up because of the villager losses, because of a bit of extra TC idle time here for Blue. Red catching up. And nice mining camp there from Blue. Poles do receive a bit of gold income when they mine stone as well, so we might see that. And then the big thing with Poles and their eco is really just, are they placing lots of farms around the full works? Red's villager found more pigs and continues to walk around. I feel like we should name her. What are your thoughts? I wish I could, like, set a number to her so we could find her later on. What would be a good name for a Byzantine female villager? Okay, probably not Dora the Explorer, but you didn't hear I said Byzantine first. Are there any stories, any characters that would really have a fascination with pigs that come to mind? Like Charlotte from Charlotte's Web? I mean, she is exploring, so Dora the Explorer makes a lot of sense. Charlotte was a... God, it's been so long. Charlotte was a spider, right? Charlotte's what? Yeah. Of course it was a spider. I'm stupid. Man, I'm getting old! I haven't watched that movie in forever. We're really thinking about this. Theodora the Explorer. Okay, I like that. Theodora. Theodora is her name. I wish Capture Aids let me change the name here. That would be a fun feature. So actually, guys, it is possible. I would have to pay quite a bit of money to have that implemented. It is possible for me to select a unit or a group of units and name them. So I could, like, change their information here. I'm not sure it's worth thousands of dollars to do it, though. Because that's what it would be. But hey, she's still moving over here, and Red will now know where things are located, which is quite nice. And actually, this pocket of space is super nice for the gold and for the stone. So I wonder, is she gonna, like, build houses in the corner or something? Whoa! Blue's walling like a maniac. Okay. Well, Blue makes a bit of an arena now. Also protecting a lot of space. Blue doesn't know where the enemy is because Blue doesn't have a Theodora. This is smart thinking. Before any attacks could come in, make sure you're safe. Nice job from Red, by the way. Red has now passed Blue's Ville count. Crazy. Hasn't actually passed the resources collected yet, but could eventually, in theory, with more villagers working. God, she's still moving. Someone in my chat says, why can't I get opponents like this on Nomad? I'm 900 elo. Well, you're 200 elo higher than these. And also Garlic Witch. I think the rule of watching low elo legends is it is way easier to pick out what players should or should not do, right, when you're watching. When you're in the game, you're probably also doing some stuff that, you know, isn't necessarily perfect all the time. That's just the reality. When we're watching, it's chill, right? But if I'm zooming in on your eco all the time, you know, then suddenly you're like, okay, well, maybe I've got some things to improve on as well. I like the approach from Blue. I like the approach. Blue about to click up to Feudal Age here. Farms around the Folwark. Blue definitely understands the Civ. Mining the stone and bringing in some gold with that. Farms around the Folwark. So the I am a god goth player understands the Civ. Seems to be checking for holes in walls now. Or, you know, maybe looking for extra pigs. We'll see. And it's very close to the edge of the map, but Blue probably doesn't realize that in the moment, so he's just going to have these massive walls. The weakness of walls like this is if someone comes in with any type of strong military and starts to attack them, they will break through pretty quickly, but it does give you a warning, and it makes you feel safe. Theodora still moving around. She has not stopped moving. This is crazy stamina from her. And also, I mean, Blue's about to be in Feudal Age. Red's already there. So, I said before, maybe Blue favorited this map because Blue had the better start. Red is honestly playing this great. The outposting with Byzantine, super helpful for vision. And so, Red's just playing this like, there will be no surprises here. My opponent will not surprise me at all. I know my opponent's down here. So, if attacks come in, I should have a warning. And I guess he's just going to outpost the whole map. Red is a late game mastermind. Really is. Starting to wall up as well. Just in case there are any attacks. Can't have too many complaints. Now, if Blue's full work game is strong, if Blue can drop another full work and start to mass some farms around it, that's where the polls really start to fly here. Going to drop the market and blacksmith now, but... Oh, man, we even have stone walls from Blue. Guys, this game is going to go on forever. Both of these players are more than happy to have this go late and for them to be safe. Wow, stone walls here as well. That's so many walls. But Red's like, but Blue's like, well, think of the area I protect. There's stone, there's gold, there's so much free real estate in here for me. I always feel bad, you know, we don't think about this enough. I feel bad for this deer, you know. Can he communicate with his friends on the other side? It looks like the friends are looking for him. It looks like they're calling for him. And he just has no clue where they are. It's very sad. Deer, okay, they're ibex. It's a type of deer, okay? You just calm down. The only thing Red could see is Red is going to bring in a boar here. The only thing that Red can see of the enemy is this house. Be kind of funny if Red attacked that. And where is Theodora? Theodora's still moving. Oh, sorry. Ibex is a type of goat. Well, you know what's a goat? Theodora is the goat. Okay, Theodora is the goat. She's still moving around. I mean, think about a normal game. You start with the scout, you use the scout, and you aim to do other things at the same time. Red's like, all right, you're going to give me a game mode where I can't scout. Then I'm just going to pick one of my vills for the job. Has done a pretty good job. Did make lots of spears. Maybe worried about a scout rush. Is going to eventually wall this up. And eventually wall this up. What would be the real epic play is if Red sees Blue as walling and Red tries to wall Blue in. But that would be a lot. That would be a lot of walling. How many how many palisade walls? So 74 palisade walls. I actually thought it would be more. Dang, this is such a fun game. This game just makes me happy. Not that other games don't, you know. But like there's something special about this one. And how these two have played the game so far. And Blue's going to be up to castle. Blue clicks up. So Red's producing a lot of Feudal Age army because Red doesn't know that Blue is the Great Wall of Poland, I guess. And so, ironically, like we celebrated Red's outposting, trying to get vision. But Red doesn't actually have enough information to know that Blue isn't already... You know, that Blue is already protected and Blue is already walled. So, yeah. Wow. Some epic farming eco over here for Supine Beast. Also paying a lot of attention to the farm placement. Naturally, of course, you don't get the farm boost that the Poles do, though. So it should be much better for blue. And when blue makes the Castle Age, blue can add more TCs for more vills and can get more eco upgrades, which helps the whole technique here. So yeah, blue has no gates. So blue is not able to escape. Or not really escape, I guess leave. And, oh, where is she? Oh, there's Theodora! Theodora! I gotta check to see if it's her. You just gotta look and see how much she's been moving. Alright, so she goes from walking around the entire planet to now mining stone on her own. It's a sad life, honestly. It really is. You know, a lot of people respect her. History will look back on Theodora as a legend, but the sad reality is she was extremely lonely, you know? Extremely lonely, and she would have really loved to have some companionship out here, but all she's got is a relic. I don't know. Maybe she'll build a monastery later. Maybe there, you know, there'll be a monk, but okay. These rocks are her friends now. Yes. So I think we call this a just-in-case army, right? Everybody knows what a just-in-case army is. Just in case the opponent shows up, you have something. So you just feel more secure with this army. There is also a hole here, I'm fairly certain, between these houses. So all this walling from red, but I think that units would funnel right through here from the enemy. The red's still focusing on lots of farms. Speaking of farms, we have the farm and wood upgrade in the Castle Age now coming in for blue. Did shift away from this wood line. I wonder if blue shifted away from this wood line because blue doesn't want to overchop. I see a lot of players shift away from wood lines because they've overchopped them before and they don't want that to happen again. That could actually happen here as well, but it would just take longer, so blue will probably keep a close eye on that. So this is funny. So blue's made a gate, but that tree... Who put the freaking tree there? What bird ate a seed and took a crap right here? That tree is actually a big problem. You could still leave the gate if some of the if this palisade here, the one with the flag on the right, would be deleted. But I have a feeling that tree is going to be a problem. And wait, guys, blue can't click the other palisade now. Look. Blue could click that one. Oh, wait, blue did click it. Okay, never mind. I was wrong. I thought it would be really hard to click. So I think it got deleted. We'll see. Blue's going to create a scout here, I imagine. Blue's still just one town center. Red is on the way to the next stage. And red has the scouting army looking for blue. Remember, knows where blue started. Doesn't know about the farms. That's a spectator thing. And here comes red, and red's going to see the walls now. Interesting is timing as well, because blue is probably thinking about leaving. That would freak me out right there if I were blue. If I noticed the enemy running by like that, I would be a little scared. We don't know if blue noticed that. But red's just inspecting, and red's like, what? Look at this city we've encountered. This is so much more advanced than what I had seen in the Dark Age. And, I mean, it just really goes on forever. Hey, guys. She has a mate now. Oh, I mean, they're still slaves to the stone mines, but, oh, they're going to build some walls together. So it's Theo and Theodora building walls together. Wait a second, red. Wait a second. Guys, the scouts... Okay, well, they made a gate. Okay, so I guess the gate means the scout... the scouts can come back. I'd be a little pissed if I were these scouts. Like, hey, what are you peasants doing? Let me out. Sorry, one sec. It's just gonna take me a minute. Second TC from red, first thing. Blue's building a castle in their base. We also got the second TC. Okay, so, I mean, guys, this game is really even. 41 eco for both. I know red's got a lot of extra army, but we don't know what blue's really committing towards yet. Poles have some great unique techs. I think you really need to try and base your gameplay around those unique techs. The Slatra privilege upgrade means your knights are super cheap. That's really strong. And then the Leketic legacy upgrade. I always struggle to say these words. That adds trample damage to the Hussar line. So like both of those things are awesome. I do think that the Byzantines are superior just because they have like lots of cheap army and they have lots of options to counter kind of anything. But the resources you bring in with the Poles is just insane. Poles should have their windows. I mean, blue has been ahead in resources collected this whole game. Is really banking up a lot of food right now. TC number 2, TC number 3 now from red. All right. Oh, I think red realized there was a hole here earlier and did place the house there. And blue getting the cav armor upgrade and attack. I think we might see the unique tech come in from blue. And yeah, I understand this player. Our first real attack of this game, guys. Red attacking the houses. Blue's not going to like that. This is a sign of war. Usually there's an agreement. Leave the peasants, leave their homes out of it. But all bets are off, apparently, as these scouts are somehow burning down the house. Are we sure it's just not a house fire in there? Like someone left some wood in the fireplace overnight? How are these little swords... How have they caught this house on fire? I don't know. Yeah, good old friction. We do have red with a monk on the field now. So, I mean, red's got vision on most of the relics. Look at this. We've got a knight on a relic. We've got a knight on a relic. We've got a gate around the relic. So, red... And then the scouts next to this relic. So red, understanding how important the relics are in late stages of the game, has units protecting each one right now. And let's go back to blue's perspective. This is what red sees of the world, right? Red has a good understanding. Blue is in the dark. In the dark, but ready to fight. Because it's so spooky and scary out there, you need to make a lot of stuff, basically. And that's what blue's going to do. Blue's going to have enough knights to really give red some problems. And I imagine... these knights might go directly over to where the scouts are. Now, this is a big army. Blue is not going to know what to make against this. But that's the thing. With the Poles, you really don't think about it too much. You just make tons of knights until tons of knights doesn't work anymore. Maybe blue also plays... I don't know if blue's name is referencing... like being a goth or playing as the goths. Maybe it's both. I could see someone who likes to play with the goths spamming infantry also liking to play with the Poles. But anyways, it definitely seems like blue has an understanding of this civ, and it is kind of similar to just spam one type of unit, you know? So this is a scouting party here. That's all this is. Into the darkness the knights go. Okay, found an outpost. That's always a little spooky. Oh, found the house walls. Found the gate. He sees an army. All right. Pretty big army there. And blue is going to realize that army is maybe a little spooky. Backs away for now. Red did get one relic. It was a relic that was in the walls, though. So the monk must be on the way. Yup, there he goes. Over here to get this relic. Next to Theo and Theodora or whatever. My tip to anyone in this position, if you're blue, anytime you pass an outpost, just kill that thing. Like, yeah, you are letting your opponent know you're there, but you don't want them to have continuous vision on you. They know you're there anyways. I understand why people don't do it, but you really just got to take the outpost out. And it's amazing how red has made so many of them. It is so cool to be able to see all this. Fat Teddy, appreciate the 42 months, man. Salute to you. Thank you. Thank you, Sunbur. Thank you, Peroxide Lobster. Bodie McBoatface. All the fun names here today. Also, Star Wars. Yeah, what's up? Welcome. Trebuchet, welcome back. So, red didn't have the necessary blacksmith upgrades for the archers. So, really is going to need the attack there. But I think red's getting like all the upgrades right now. So, that's the thing. If you make 3 different types of military units, you need 3 different types of blacksmith upgrades. So, that just takes more time. Eventually, you're going to have a pretty diverse group there. Nice job from blue to take out that outpost. But there's still another one here. So, guys, blue is imping. I also think blue noticed this knight over here. Almost looked like blue was trying to lure the... Did blue put these on auto scout? Red found pigs and immediately clicks them home, which is hilarious. If I had to guess... I also just heard a boar die. What in the world? Oh, he clicked the boar by accident. I think that because you could put any of the scout line on auto scout now, that's exactly what blue's just done. You see all these groups? Yeah, this is auto scout. So it used to be that you could only auto scout with the starting scout, but now they made it so you can auto scout with any scouts. This is insane. He's got like 20 units just auto scouting around the map right now. And then red is like, oh no, the enemy is around. Look at the mini map. Look at all the movement. Can you imagine like how freaked out you must be if you're red? And red just like, stick to the plan. Don't move a muscle. Don't make any noises. And maybe we can get this relic back home. Here, red knew the knights were there from blue, brought out the pikes and the camel. We'll complete the TC in this area and defend that. And relic number 3 is on the way. That mini-map's cracking me up, how blue is moving around with all these auto scouts. Clearly just selected the group. It's also funny how red is chasing. Like that knight is occasionally chasing. What this has done for blue, though, is it, you know, No! It simplified the game, and Theo and Theodora have been found! Whatever. No one really cared about them at this point anyways. Maybe you did. I'm sorry if I was a little mean. Blue might think there's something hidden in here. This gate looks kind of funky now. I might be thinking there's sneak buildings in there. Good find, though, and now blue has seen all the map, except for beyond red's walls, because of auto scout. There goes another monk just taking the risk. And yeah, blue noticed that. All right. Nice job from blue. Really nice job. 73 vills. In the Imperial Age already. Could get Cavalier, could get Blacksmith Techs. Like, could really start to get some momentum here. Starting to leave the base now and place TCs on other stones and golds. There's, of course, like stones and golds everywhere on this map. There's the resources left. And remember, like, your farms are automatically reseeding all the time with the poles. You're still getting 10% food boost of you know, what's on the farm every single time a farm reseeds. So the food count with 34 on food with poles should be insane, especially if crop rotation is researched. Red's got a lot of army. Red doesn't know about that TC, but red knows about this army, and red isn't in the Imperial Age yet, but has 60 army on the field. I think blue right now is thinking, how can I counter that many pikes? I have to make something else. The TC gets denied. Winged Hussar tech coming in. Supplies now coming in. Lots of techs for blue. So here's what blue needs, okay? Obviously, this is probably a little overwhelming. But I think your unique unit, Olbach, is just so good. I think it's OP, actually. I think it needs nerfed, but I've felt that ever since poles were introduced, so what do I know? It strips the enemy armor. It's got 6 pierce armor, almost 100 HP. They produce very fast. It's great against... Like, it's half decent against archers with 6 pierce armor. It's really solid. And then it's great against any form of, like, melee, which would be, like, infantry, camels, or whatever. So, I think you can do that. I think you could maybe do that in combination with the Hussars here. Don't open the gate. Don't open the gate. Oh, God, the gate is open. The gate is open. The gate is open. So now they've got that trample damage I talked about. And we're talking Imperial Age upgrades for blue, and red is in Imp, but still only with Castle Age upgrades. So I also am not sure if red knows a lot about counters. I wonder if red is just making a lot of stuff. to make a lot of stuff. I don't know. There's a villager in there. That guy's a bit of a Chad. I think blue will clear this up. Red doesn't have the rest of the army that's on the map here yet. Blue just needs to breathe for a minute. Deep breaths and just wait till you mass the units. You have the walls. You don't need to rush fights. But I could tell that blue's panicking. Oh, that's true. Red is very angry about Theodora. Yeah, I could see that. Again, like 33 farms with the poles. Untouched eco. That's really good for blue. But how are you supposed to break red? That's what red wanted. Look at the castle. Look at how red's played. Red's like, you can't freaking break me. These castles are all about holding the corner. And now we have some buildings outside the walls for the first time this game from red. Yeah, Olbuk is just... Yeah, it's a way better version of a champion. And can someone remind me of the cost of an Olbuk as well? Again, I think it's a bit overtuned. It shreds armor, which should be the main focus of the unit, in my opinion. But it also has really solid base attack. It is more pierce armor than like a samurai, for example. And it also is really cheap. It's only 20 gold. And production speed is fast. So I think it's a really solid unit. And you think you combine that with the winged hussars, and maybe if you need range, some arbalest with the poles. That's kind of what you should be thinking about. How do Katas trade against them? That's a great thing. I think like cost effectively, Olbuk probably do okay. Katas should population efficient anyways. They should like probably shred them. So, Red doesn't seem like a player who's really out here to finish the opponent quickly. Right? I mean, and blue the same. I think if that's going to be the case, I think you should never stop producing villagers here. I think consistently producing villagers is really important. Crop rotation is a tech a lot of people kind of laugh at because they're like, oh man, like, do you really need farms with that much food? But with this type of game, it's worth it. But then also, especially with poles, because you're still getting 10% of that farm's food every time you reseed a farm. So crop rotation with poles is sick. The champion is in for blue in 10 seconds, as well as Cavalier. So certainly getting a lot of text there. Did break through here and is just taking a look to see if red had anything hidden, and there's nothing. And I wonder, were these just set on auto scout together? Yes, they were. I love how blue is using that. This is the first time I've seen someone really use that with bigger groups. But yeah, like, honestly, just full Cataphract and full Halb with Byzantines. I think Poles really struggle there. I mean, and this is just a classic AI army, right? Look at red. Red's got Cataphracts, crossbows, knights, halbs, trebs, camels, cav archers, scouts. The only thing we're missing is maybe a couple longswords here. Red's just like, you can't counter everything. There's no way. And I don't know if red knows what is good against one here, but if you have 100 of everything with some trebs in the mix, usually it's going to be pretty solid. Also, getting those upgrades too. Now, we're about to find out if either of these players are viewers here on the stream, because I see they both have one treb. I don't think they should be trickling with these trebs. You show up with 4 trebs if you want to take a big fight. If it's, you know, if you want the best outcome and ideally to take out a castle. Now, they don't see a castle yet. Red can see blue's army, though. Blue cannot see red's army. That's just Byzantine vision for you. That's such a nice thing to have here. To be fair, back when the game came out, I did not even know there was bonus damage against unit types because the tooltips just don't tell you. I don't think the tooltips tell you that much more these days. I mean, it definitely does, but also, like, guys, I never play a game and, like, sit down and read a long paragraph about bonus damage and stuff. I just play and I learn, right? I think that's how most people play it. So I think you just kind of find out after taking a bunch of good or bad fights, right? Yeah, red is prepared for this. Blue is not. Like blue's making some winged hussars, but blue does not know what is going to be here. Again, I think the unit you would really want here is Olbuk. I think they're a better version of a champion. They've got more HP. They shred armor, which helps all the other attacks. You can only produce them out of castles, though, so that is the weakness of it, and blue's just about to have castle number 2. Blue is going up to 4, though, so... Someone says, I used to read instruction manuals. I missed that. Yeah, I actually have an Age of Empires manual here in my office. I have some old... I have the old discs as well for a bunch of these games. Sorry, just turning around. I also have a hat that was made by Ensemble Studios in 1998, which I've never worn on camera because it's just so 90s and so embarrassing. But we've got a big fight. We've got a big fight here. Blue's got some great blacksmith upgrades, which certainly helps. The blast furnace upgrade is really helpful. There will be some Olbuk in here shredding a little bit. The army counts are insane right now, guys. Just insane. And we'll see how the army control is. Tell it's rather awkward to control this many types of units here. There is one thing that blue is missing, and that would be range, right? I think having the arbalest behind this is super helpful. And both players have trebs. Blue loses the treb to the cav. Red's treb is still firing. It seems like blue's taking a pretty good fight here. I can't help but feel like all that extra attack, maybe some of the trample as well from the hussar tech really helping. Blue not focus firing down the treb, though, so the castle's going down. The castle fire from red's going to contribute with kills. The arbalest, like we said, will contribute. And red's got more units, and blue snipes the treb, realizing. And that is one of many, many fights we are going to see right here in this battlefield. Really tough time to be this boar right now. I think the boar dies. Just a random prediction. I think there's a misclick on the boar at some point. Cavalier are cheap, but are they cheap enough to justify throwing so many away to snipe some trebs? This is against halbs, which are cheap and don't cost gold if you're red. It really feels like red's got the better position now. Blue forced to engage against the treb all the time because of the panic. And blue is going to be producing some more Olbuks, but red also did a good job. Look at all the production buildings that are prepared and ready next to this. We even have Paladin on the way. And blue's production isn't quite as solid here. Doesn't have as many buildings to work with. Still just like 3 stables instead of having maybe like 6 to 10. As well as if you're going to make units from your barracks, I think the same number of barracks would be good. And we might not be too far away from this game ending, guys, if blue continues it. Blue continues to take really good engagements. And cataphracts aren't elite. Paladins for Byzantines, by no means the best paladins ever, but just a really good combination of units. Blue, is blue going to try and be sneaky here? Oh my god, red spotted it right away. Red spotted it right away, and since the cat is over. What blue just did there is what you do when you're a desperate player. You try and sneak to kill the opponent's castle. Nice shot for blue, though. Blue did snipe red's trap, so blue can hold for the time being. But, like, before, blue was sending in units trying to kill the trap. Now is when you, because there's no trebs, you could actually relax a little bit and think, okay, what can we do? Blue actually has so many units in queue out of just 3 stables. Also, I think this hussar is... I think he's blocking the gate. Yeah, the units are pathing around. Oh, that hussar's the worst! That's the worst! The hussar in the tree! Oh, God! And blue won't realize that. And blue is time to relax a little bit and think about it. We knew the tree would be a problem. There's only one area that's available there. Or like one tile that's open and the hussar's standing in it. He's been promised a small village in the Byzantine Empire if he does that. He's been promised, maybe he's been promised like this little section. Have a couple ibex, have some gold to work with. You could start a family, hussar. Wait, do the pikemen fit through? Oh, wait. It looks like sometimes the units can go through. That's interesting. Well, Elite Olbuk is in, which it wasn't before. I feel like that has to be in, and we need a lot more of them. If you really, I think you get up to 30 Olbuk. I think this gets very interesting. Both players building back up. We've got Logistica now for red, so that's going to add trample damage to his katas. Not Elite Cataphract, though, but he's got Paladin now. And here we go. Look at how many Trebs red has made. Red's not messing around this time. Seriously taking the do not trickle Treb to heart. This is a massive fight. This is a fight that red will win, guys. Red just got better military. Arbalest help with Cataphracts. With Poles, it's never necessarily about the strength of their army, except for maybe the Olbuk. It's about what it does for the cost, I would say. They've got so many fun techs. Well, that's the thing about Byzantines, too, is like Byzantines actually have great army, and it's also cheaper, too. Blue wanted this game, wanted these walls. Blue had such a better start. But red is 4 relics behind this. Red even building more defensive castles at home, just in case there's any raids. Just playing it super safe. And pretty soon, I think blue might lose hope. Still has just 3 stables here. Hasn't added more production buildings. Blue, if you ever watch this, that's a big tip here. Like, you could be up to 200 pop already again if you just had more stables. Production buildings are a really big thing. Red's got 4, plus 4 barracks. Plus, I guess, just 2. I mean, Red's army production buildings aren't really that insane either. But Red also isn't losing fights. So, there is that. The resource control for Red is really good, though. Lots of vision on golds and stones. And has spent those resources on paladins and now Elite Cataphract as well. Red built this castle a bit ago. I didn't really talk about it, but it's been here. And I think blue is losing hope. Again, we start to see a bit of a panicky situation, right? Where blue just goes in with everything. Desperate. Because the people are terrified in the walls. The Olbuk, they're trying to kill off the Arbs. The Arbs have been such a helpful tool here. It was just a group of like 20 units that had about 60, 70 kills. Really helps to have that combination of a ranged unit with a meat shield in front. The Poles could do that themselves. They also could go for Arbalest, but might be too little too late at this point. And Red here with enough Trebs to take down Blue's castle, which is researching hoardings, but you even tell the rally point for Blue's military is right here into the meat grinder now. Unable to collect the units together to take the fights. Just kind of clicking and hoping, and it's getting worse. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. And it might be too late to back up. Castle down. Red's got perfect control right now. Also, I just love what Red has done with the vision. The castle here on stone and gold. Taking this gold in the north. Taking this gold here. Red just a beastly late game player. And Blue, who is very kind at the start, did say hello and good luck, have fun. Red never responded. Blue taps out. Blue says, well, Byzantines OP. GG, well played, really. Well, I like that. I think it's fair. Byzantine late game is insane. Also added the GG, well played, really. I like that. That's solid. Can you sit here and say that the Byzantines don't have maybe some better options and some pretty ridiculous things against the Poles? I don't think so. I think the Byzantines are great. I think that Red didn't necessarily win because of being the Byzantines. I think Red won because of all the good moves and map control, whatever else. But I think that's acceptable emotional situation there for Blue. I like the respect there. And there's the difference in the resources collected. You'll notice the food count was insane here for Blue. But the gold and the stone situation was just far superior for Red. A lot of that was due to the relics. I also think this game was like so much easier for Red because Red had vision on the whole map. If you know where everything is, you are never going to be surprised. You're only going to fight when you're ready. And for Blue, there was a whole lot of darkness because Blue didn't outpost, didn't scout the map too much. I mean, that's not exactly true. We actually saw lots of auto scouting, which is pretty cool. But yeah, you know, things to learn from, things to see. But yeah, Byzantine's OP apparently. And a solid game, a solid boomy game. There wasn't a lot of like mid-game stuff, but I thought it was cool how Red, like think back to how this game started. I was like screaming at Red to build the town center. But Red was like, no. I don't want to build the town center close to the enemy because that's bad for my style. I'm going to walk far away from the enemy since I know where that TC is. And then I'm just going to take this late. And that's precisely what happened. So that probably explains more than anything why Red was so choosy. Maybe if we look at Red's games, maybe Red always tries to find the enemy with the starting vills and then tries to TC the opposite side. It certainly felt like Red was comfortable there. But a solid game, solid sportsmanship. Some people think the GG well played really was sarcastic. I don't know. I think maybe Blue is a little salty. I'm going to give Blue the benefit of the doubt that Blue wasn't being sarcastic there. Maybe a little annoyed, which happens. You know, the opponent wasn't chatting back either, but I think the GG well played was also, I think it was legitimate.